In the rapid rhythm of workplaces, the narcissistic colleague is a distinctive concern. Interactions involving such an individual can turn an otherwise peaceful situation into an ego battle. Working alongside a narcissistic colleague demands not only professional skills, but also a keen understanding of human nature. Let's dive into the topic of narcissism at work and how to survive and thrive in the presence of a narcissistic colleague. Narcissism and the workplace. Narcissism is like a spotlight that shines mostly on oneself. It's when someone thinks they're super important and wants others to think so too. This me-first attitude isn't just a thing in movies, it can pop up at work too. Imagine a colleague who talks mostly about themselves, needs constant applause, and doesn't really care about others' feelings. That's the kind of behavior linked to narcissism. And when this self-focused behavior sneaks into the workplace, it can make things quite challenging. Narcissism, an intriguing facet of human psychology, stems from a mix of factors that shape how individuals perceive themselves and interact with the world around them. The term finds its roots in Greek mythology, where Narcissus, a character consumed by his own reflection, embodies the essence of self-absorption. This ancient tale serves as a metaphor for the complex interplay of factors that contribute to the emergence of narcissistic traits in individuals today. The causes of narcissism are multifaceted, with a blend of nature and nurture shaping its development. Biological factors, including genetics and brain structure, play a role in how a person processes self-relevant information. Environmental factors, such as early childhood experiences, upbringing, and societal influences, further mold one's self-concept. For instance, individuals who receive excessive praise and adoration during childhood may develop an inflated sense of self-importance. Similarly, an environment that lacks emotional warmth and nurturance might lead to the development of compensatory behaviors aimed at gaining external validation. Identifying narcissistic traits can be quite complicated, as they manifest in various ways. One common symptom is a heightened need for admiration and a constant craving for attention. Individuals with narcissistic tendencies often showcase a grandiose view of their abilities, believing they are exceptional and deserving of admiration. This belief often masks an underlying fragility, where their self-worth hinges on the validation of others. Another symptom lies in the realm of empathy, where a lack of genuine concern for others' feelings characterizes narcissistic individuals. They may struggle to recognize or relate to the emotions of those around them, often prioritizing their own needs and desires. Narcissism is marked by an intricate interplay of emotions and behaviors that can be challenging to understand. These traits can exist on a spectrum ranging from healthy self-esteem to pathological narcissism. It's important to note that not all self-centered behavior indicates narcissism. Rather, it's the persistence and intensity of these behaviors, coupled with a disregard for the well-being of others, that define true narcissistic tendencies. The workplace is like a puzzle. For this puzzle to work well, every piece needs to fit nicely together. That's what healthy workplace dynamics are all about. It's like teamwork. When everyone feels heard, respected, and valued, they can work together like a smooth engine. This teamwork is super important, not just for getting stuff done, but also for everyone's well-being. Think about it. A positive workplace where people feel good about coming to work is way better than a place filled with tension and negativity. Now, imagine dealing with a colleague who believes they're the superhero of the office, always craving attention. It might sound challenging, right? Well, it can be. Narcissistic colleagues can bring a storm of drama to the workplace. They might not play well with others, and their need for the spotlight could overshadow teamwork. But don't worry, there are ways to handle this. It's like having an umbrella in the rain. Setting boundaries, focusing on your own well-being, and finding smart ways to communicate are like your toolkit for navigating this storm. This preview will guide us through the challenges of dealing with narcissistic colleagues and finding strategies to keep things smooth and productive. Unveiling the narcissistic colleague. Narcissism is when someone is overly focused on themselves and their desires, often at the expense of others. In a workplace setting, certain traits stand out. One is being self-centered, where a person thinks mainly about themselves and their accomplishments. Another is the constant need for admiration, wanting everyone to notice and praise them. Lastly, there's a lack of empathy, meaning they struggle to understand or care about other people's feelings. These traits can make working with a narcissistic colleague quite challenging. Identifying narcissistic behaviors in colleagues. It's not always easy to spot narcissism, but there are clues to look for in colleagues. If someone frequently talks only about themselves and their achievements, without showing much interest in others, that could be a sign. Also, if they always seek attention and praise, even for small things, it might be a clue. Additionally, if they struggle to understand or care about how their actions affect others, that lack of empathy can indicate narcissistic tendencies. Pinpointing narcissistic behaviors in colleagues requires a discerning eye, as these traits often operate beneath the surface. While not an exhaustive list, here are some examples and signs that might help you identify potential narcissistic tendencies. Excessive self-centeredness. Example: your colleague frequently dominates conversations with stories about their own achievements without showing much curiosity about others. Sign: they consistently turn discussions back to themselves and rarely engage in active listening. Constant need for attention and praise. Example: your colleague frequently seeks acknowledgement and praise, even for relatively minor tasks. Sign: they often monopolize conversations to highlight their accomplishments and await compliments from others. Lack of empathy. Example: your colleague appears uninterested or indifferent when others share their concerns or achievements. Sign: they struggle to connect emotionally with colleagues and dismiss or downplay others' feelings. Manipulative behavior. Example: your colleague often tries to manipulate situations to their advantage, even if it means undermining others. Sign: they tend to use tactics like guilt-tripping, exaggeration, or exploiting others' vulnerabilities. Belittling others. Example: your colleague frequently belittles or dismisses the opinions and contributions of others. Sign: they consistently undermine colleagues' ideas or achievements to maintain a sense of superiority. Inability to handle criticism. Example: your colleague reacts defensively or with hostility when receiving constructive feedback. Sign: they might take any form of criticism as a personal attack and refuse to accept any accountability. Desire for special treatment. Example: your colleague expects special treatment or exceptions to rules that don't apply to others. Sign: they demonstrate a sense of entitlement and might disregard policies or norms that they deem beneath them. Exaggeration of accomplishments. Example: your colleague often embellishes their achievements to appear more accomplished than they are. Sign: they frequently overstate their successes to garner admiration and validation. Inability to collaborate. Example: your colleague avoids collaborative efforts or tries to dominate group projects. Sign: they find it difficult to compromise and insist on their ideas, often disregarding others' input. Tendency to surround themselves with admirers. Example: your colleague seems to prefer relationships with those who consistently praise and support them. Sign: they avoid or distance themselves from those who provide honest feedback or challenge their views. Identifying these signs should be approached with empathy and an understanding that behaviors can exist on a spectrum. It's important to consider the context and observe patterns over time to make a more informed assessment of whether someone may have narcissistic tendencies. Impact on team dynamics, communication, and collaboration. When a colleague possesses narcissistic traits, it can shake up the dynamics of the entire team. Their self-centeredness often means they want to be in the spotlight, which can overshadow other team members' contributions. Their constant need for admiration might lead to them taking credit for group achievements. Moreover, their lack of empathy can create a tough environment where others' feelings are ignored. This, in turn, can affect communication. Open and honest discussions become harder when one person's ego dominates the conversation. Collaboration, a key part of any successful team, can also suffer. If a colleague only cares about themselves, working together for a common goal becomes difficult. All in all, these traits can create tension and make the workplace less harmonious. The toll of having a narcissistic colleague. When narcissism takes root within a workplace, its effects can be like ripples in a pond. Team cohesion and morale, once steady and harmonious, begin to show signs of disturbance. The presence of a narcissistic colleague can inject an air of tension and uncertainty into the team environment. As they prioritize their own interests and need for admiration, the collective spirit that binds a team can start to fray. The sense of working together towards a common goal can be overshadowed by individual agendas, leaving team members feeling disconnected and disheartened. Unraveling manipulation and power dynamics within the team. Amidst the ebb and flow of office life, the narcissistic colleague often weaves intricate patterns of manipulation and power dynamics. Their relentless pursuit of validation, propels them to orchestrate situations that cast them in the spotlight, sometimes at the expense of others. They wield their charisma and charm as tools to gain favor and control, constructing a web of influence that can distort the natural equilibrium within the team. This manipulation can lead to unease among team members, who find themselves navigating an intricate maze of hidden motives and subtle power plays. Narcissism's veil over effective communication and cooperation. Communication, often the lifeblood of effective teamwork, can become a casualty of narcissism. As the narcissistic colleague's need for attention takes center stage, open and honest dialogue can retreat to the shadows. Meaningful discussions are replaced by self-promotion, leaving team members struggling to make their voices heard. Moreover, the lack of genuine empathy characteristic of narcissism hampers understanding and compromises cooperation. The give and take essential for successful collaboration becomes a challenge as the narcissistic colleague prioritizes their own needs and desires over the collective good. In the face of these challenges, it becomes evident that the impact of narcissism on team dynamics reaches far beyond individual interactions. It permeates the very fabric of how a team functions and thrives. As we delve deeper into the complexities of such scenarios, we uncover the urgent need for strategies that not only address the challenges posed by narcissistic colleagues, but also foster an environment of open communication, empathy, and effective teamwork. Strategies for coping and thriving. Dealing with a narcissistic colleague can be a challenging task, but there are practical strategies that can empower you to navigate this complex terrain with confidence. Recognizing the signs of a narcissistic colleague. Early on, being able to identify the early signs of narcissism in a colleague can be a crucial step in managing your interactions. Look for consistent patterns of behavior that revolve around self-importance and an incessant need for admiration. If a colleague constantly seeks attention, dominates conversations, and belittles others' contributions, these could be red flags of narcissistic tendencies. By recognizing these signs early, you can adjust your approach and expectations, helping you maintain your own emotional well-being. Setting healthy boundaries and protecting your own well-being. Establishing clear and healthy boundaries is essential when dealing with a narcissistic colleague. Understand your limits and decide what you're willing to tolerate in terms of behavior and communication. Maintain a balance between being cooperative and assertive to protect your well-being. Be prepared to say no when necessary, and avoid getting entangled in the web of manipulation or constant demands for attention. By setting boundaries, you create a shield of protection against the negative effects of a narcissistic colleague. Developing effective communication strategies to navigate interactions. Communication with a narcissistic colleague requires a delicate balance. Choose your words carefully and keep the conversation focused on work-related matters. Avoid feeding into their need for constant admiration or validation. Instead, steer conversations towards constructive topics that benefit the team and the task at hand. When dealing with disagreements, maintain a calm and rational tone, focusing on facts rather than emotions. By mastering the art of strategic communication, you can navigate interactions with a narcissistic colleague while minimizing potential conflicts and maintaining your own emotional equilibrium. Navigating office politics and manipulation. In the intricate dance of office politics, the presence of a narcissistic colleague adds a layer of complexity. Understanding their role, being aware of their manipulation tactics, and holding on to your integrity are vital strategies for successfully traversing this terrain while preserving your own well-being and professional standing. Understanding the narcissistic colleague's role in office politics. When it comes to the complex world of office politics, the role of a narcissistic colleague can be both intriguing and treacherous. These individuals often possess a strong desire to be at the center of attention, which can drive them to actively engage in workplace power dynamics. Their need for constant admiration and recognition can push them to strategically position themselves in ways that enhance their visibility and influence. This can mean cozying up to higher-ups, promoting their achievements with an air of grandiosity, and exploiting any opportunity that brings them into the limelight. Recognizing this role is pivotal, as it unveils the motivations behind their actions and helps you navigate the office landscape with greater insight. Tactics used by narcissists to manipulate situations and gain an upper hand. Narcissistic colleagues are often skilled manipulators, employing a variety of tactics to sway situations in their favor. Their inherent need to be perceived as exceptional drives them to utilize strategies that can subtly undermine colleagues or exaggerate their own achievements. They might employ tactics such as gaslighting, making you doubt your own perceptions or memories, and creating alliances that they can control for their benefit. Their manipulation often extends to taking credit for others' ideas, shifting blame to divert attention from themselves, and crafting narratives that portray them as indispensable contributors. By understanding these tactics, you can better shield yourself from their influence and respond strategically when confronted with their maneuvers. Ways to maintain your integrity while facing manipulation. When dealing with a narcissistic colleague's manipulation, safeguarding your own integrity becomes paramount. It's crucial to remain grounded in your values and maintain a clear sense of self-worth. Counter their attempts to belittle your contributions by documenting your achievements and maintaining open communication with colleagues who can vouch for your work. Maintain your focus on the bigger picture and avoid getting entangled in their web of ego-driven disputes. Diplomacy and assertiveness are key. Stand up for yourself while avoiding confrontations that might play into their tactics. Seek allies within the organization who can provide support and perspective, and consider discussing your concerns with supervisors or HR professionals if the manipulation escalates. Remember, your integrity is your armor against manipulation, allowing you to navigate the labyrinth of office politics with your values and professionalism intact. Self-preservation and mental health. Dealing with a narcissistic colleague can gradually take a toll on your emotions and overall well-being. Over time, the constant exposure to their self-centeredness and manipulation can create a sense of frustration, anxiety, and even self-doubt. Their behaviors might leave you questioning your own actions and abilities, which can lead to feelings of inadequacy. It's important to recognize that these emotions are a natural response to an unhealthy work environment. Strategies to safeguard your mental well-being and resilience. In the face of such challenges, there are strategies you can employ to protect your mental well-being and maintain your resilience. First and foremost, establish clear boundaries. By defining what you're willing to tolerate and not tolerate, you create a shield that helps you retain your sense of self-worth. Additionally, practicing self-care is crucial. Engaging in activities that bring you joy and relaxation can counterbalance the stress caused by the narcissistic colleague. Another powerful strategy is cultivating emotional resilience. This involves developing the ability to bounce back from difficult situations. It's about understanding that you have the power to control your reactions even when faced with challenging individuals. Building resilience takes time, but it's a skill that can serve you well, not only in your current situation, but throughout your career. Seeking support from mentors, supervisors, or external resources. Recognize that you don't have to navigate this situation alone. Seeking support is a sign of strength, not weakness. If your workplace has mentors or supervisors you trust, consider discussing your experiences with them. Their perspective and guidance can offer valuable insights. Additionally, external resources such as career coaches, therapists, or support groups can provide a safe space for you to share your feelings and receive advice from those who have faced similar challenges. Rising above, transforming challenges into opportunities. Turning the difficulties of navigating a narcissistic colleague into a chance for personal growth is a remarkable feat. While dealing with such challenges might initially seem overwhelming, it's within these moments that we have the power to learn, adapt, and come out stronger. Transforming personal growth. When faced with a narcissistic colleague, you're given an unexpected opportunity for self-discovery. By learning how to manage the complexities of this relationship, you're honing skills that can positively impact various aspects of your life. This might involve understanding your own boundaries, learning patience, and enhancing your emotional resilience. Conflict resolution and emotional intelligence. One of the silver linings in this cloud of difficulty is the chance to develop valuable skills in conflict resolution and emotional intelligence. Navigating interactions with a narcissistic colleague often demands a delicate balance of assertiveness and diplomacy. As you adapt to the challenges, you're acquiring skills that will serve you not only in your professional journey, but also in personal relationships. The experience teaches you to respond calmly and thoughtfully even in the face of challenging behaviors. Excelling in future interactions. Each experience, no matter how challenging, has the potential to be a stepping stone towards a brighter future. As you learn how to manage a narcissistic colleague, you're gaining insights that can transform your approach to all workplace interactions. The lessons learned in dealing with a difficult individual can influence how you communicate, collaborate, and lead in various scenarios. Your newfound wisdom empowers you to navigate office dynamics with greater finesse, ensuring your voice is heard and respected. Creating a supportive workplace culture. Organizations play a crucial role in shaping the way colleagues interact and thrive within the workplace. Addressing and mitigating the impact of narcissistic colleagues is not only vital for the well-being of individual employees, but also for the overall health of the organization. Recognizing the potential disruptions caused by narcissistic behaviors, companies can take proactive steps to foster a workplace culture that promotes collaboration, respect, and psychological safety, fostering a culture of open communication, empathy, and teamwork. Central to nurturing a positive workplace culture is the cultivation of open communication, empathy, and teamwork. When organizations prioritize transparent communication channels, employees are empowered to voice their concerns and share their experiences. This not only helps in identifying potential issues related to narcissistic behavior, but also creates an environment where individuals feel heard and supported. Encouraging empathy within teams encourages understanding and consideration for others' perspectives, creating a harmonious atmosphere where healthy relationships can flourish. Emphasizing teamwork over individual competition ensures that collaboration and mutual support become the norm, mitigating the influence of narcissism. Building strategies for identifying and addressing disruptive behavior. Developing effective strategies for identifying and addressing disruptive behavior is essential for maintaining a harmonious workplace. Organizations can establish clear guidelines that define acceptable behavior and set consequences for any deviations. Training programs that educate employees about identifying narcissistic traits can empower individuals to recognize potential challenges early on. Moreover, instituting channels for reporting disruptive behavior, such as confidential reporting mechanisms, enables colleagues to express their concerns without fear of retribution. Addressing disruptive behavior swiftly and fairly sends a clear message that the organization values a respectful and cooperative workplace environment. The path forward, empowerment and growth. After navigating the complexities of dealing with a narcissistic colleague, there are several key takeaways and strategies that can serve as guiding lights for a smoother journey ahead. In the realm of interacting with a narcissistic colleague, self-awareness becomes an invaluable tool. Recognizing the signs of narcissistic behavior early on empowers you to approach interactions with clarity. Setting healthy boundaries, both emotionally and professionally, helps shield you from the negative impact of their tendencies. Additionally, practicing effective communication strategies allows you to navigate conversations with greater ease and prevent potential manipulation. Amid challenging work environments, personal growth and resilience emerge as beacons of strength. As you learn to manage interactions with a narcissistic colleague, you'll find opportunities for enhancing your emotional intelligence and conflict resolution skills. The ability to maintain composure, even in the face of manipulation or hostility, not only fosters your professional growth but also bolsters your mental well-being. While the journey of dealing with a narcissistic colleague might be arduous, it doesn't end with survival alone. Every individual possesses the power to contribute to positive change within their workplace dynamics. By demonstrating empathy, open communication, and collaboration, you set a precedent for healthier interactions. Upholding professional integrity, even when faced with challenges, models the behavior you wish to see in your colleagues and work environment. Practical strategies for dealing with a narcissistic colleague. The workplace, with its diversity of personalities, can sometimes introduce us to colleagues who exhibit narcissistic traits. Navigating such dynamics can be challenging, but with a toolkit of practical strategies, you can not only survive but also thrive amidst the complexities. Let's delve into some effective ways to deal with a narcissistic colleague while maintaining your well-being and professionalism. 1. Maintain a steady compass of self-confidence. Cultivating a strong sense of self-confidence is your armor against the onslaught of narcissism. Remind yourself of your skills, achievements, and the value you bring to the table. By anchoring your self-worth internally, you can better shield yourself from the narcissistic colleague's attempts to undermine your confidence. 2. Set clear boundaries. Establishing boundaries is a powerful way to protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being. Politely but firmly communicate your limits when it comes to working hours, tasks, and personal interactions. This not only prevents the narcissistic colleague from encroaching on your space, but also reinforces your professionalism. 3. Choose your battles wisely. While it's tempting to engage in power struggles with a narcissistic colleague, pick your battles with care. Focus your energy on important tasks and collaborations, rather than getting entangled in ego-driven conflicts that can drain your resources. 4. Practice effective communication. Crafting your communication to resonate with a narcissistic colleague's needs can lead to smoother interactions. Highlight their contributions, frame suggestions in a way that aligns with their interests, and maintain a calm and composed demeanor even in challenging conversations. 5. Document interactions. Maintain a record of interactions with your narcissistic colleague. This documentation can serve as a useful reference in case of misunderstandings or disputes. It helps you rely on facts rather than emotions when addressing issues. 6. Focus on solutions, not blame. When problems arise, shift the focus from blaming the narcissistic colleague to finding solutions. Collaborate on ways to address challenges and enhance productivity. This approach takes the attention away from personal conflicts and redirects it towards achieving common goals. 7. Seek support from trusted allies. Share your experiences with colleagues you trust. Having a supportive network provides emotional validation and a safe space to vent frustrations. However, be cautious about spreading negativity throughout the workplace. 8. Maintain emotional detachment. Limit emotional investment in interactions with a narcissistic colleague. Emotionally detaching yourself can shield you from their attempts to provoke or manipulate your feelings. 9. Build skills in conflict resolution. Enhance your conflict resolution skills to address misunderstandings professionally. Utilize techniques like active listening, empathy, and seeking common ground to diffuse tense situations. 10. Focus on personal growth. View the experience of dealing with a narcissistic colleague as an opportunity for personal growth. Patience, resilience, and diplomacy are qualities that can be honed through such challenges and can serve you well in your career. 11. Advocate for a positive work environment. Promote a culture of respect and collaboration in your workplace. By advocating for open communication, empathy, and teamwork, you contribute to a more supportive atmosphere that benefits everyone. Through awareness and patience, you can successfully deal with a narcissistic colleague while safeguarding your well-being and fostering a healthier professional environment. Always keep in mind that people with narcissistic tendencies are still human. They deserve understanding, especially for having a mental health condition. Overall, it's possible to not only survive, but also thrive amidst the most challenging of colleagues. Your stories and experiences with narcissistic manipulation are powerful. Share in the comments and let others know they're not alone. By understanding the tactics of a narcissist, we can safeguard against their snares. If this resonates, give a thumbs up, share, and subscribe for more insights. Remember, you deserve love and respect. Stand strong, and until our next deep dive, take care.